Wow. Just some headlines that are weird. If you like weird stuff, welcome. Like, subscribe, and follow would be great. If you'd like to send us a story we've missed, that would be great too. Or leave a question, comment, conundrum, or snark.
Yep.
What?
Well, when you said weird, I thought he was talking to you. Oh, okay. Good. Just checking.
But I wasn't excluding you.
Good idea.
Yeah. Seemed like. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Question, comment, conundrum, or snark. You can leave it right here, or if it's longer, missive, or that said story we should have, TITR at netradio.network.
This is true, really news with Scott Combs and Tony Verkinnes. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
Okay, come on. What do you do with a headline that says Lakers Jackson Hayes suspended the game for pushing Wizards mascot? Gee whiz. I mean, really.
And if they could have only done it in the bathroom, because then he could have done it in the Wizard.
No, remember the Wizard was a contraption. Who was the Viking? There's a Viking ball player the Wizard.
Toy?
No, it was something so that he could make good in the bathroom for testing purposes. I would Google it, but I really don't care.
Yeah, let me just get started here. The European Union, now this is, remember when I said foreshadowing?
Yes.
And we did the foreshadowing story about language being policed.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what the second one was. But the third thing here is the European Union, not content with regulating the curvature of bananas. Look it up. It's a real thing. It's just not as bad as it sounds. Has donned a new cape. The world's unilateral digital overlord. Thanks to the Digital Services Act, DSA. Those,
subtle, unassuming.
Yeah, right. Those lovable Eurocrats in Brussels have decided that if a post hurts their feelings in Belgium, nobody in the rest of the world should see it either. It's called the Brussels effect because platforms like X and Meta fear fines of, get this, 6% of their global revenue.
Okay.
So they've turned into the EU's personal janitors. If a meme is harmful to a bureaucrat's breakfast, it's deleted worldwide. Now, we're not talking about actual crimes. We're talking about disinformation, which is the fancily new word for opinions that make the EU look like the authoritarian regime it's becoming. The irony here is the EU claims this protects democracy. Which is it's a bit like protecting people from splinters by burning down their village.
Well, technically,
EU has already pressured platforms to suppress political speech critical of their migration and climate policies. What could possibly go wrong? When a government decides which truths are legal, that's not a democracy. It's a high-tech Politburo with admittedly better chocolate. By empowering government-funded trusted flaggers, which is a term they use, to bypass due process, they've built a censorship industrial complex. If you post satire that hits too close to home, poof, you're a systemic risk. So stay vigilant. At the rate we're going, the EU will decide you prefer footage of Ursula von der Leyen nodding off to our satire. They're just another stinking authoritarian regime.
Yep. But this time, there's a whole bunch of them playing together.
That makes it much more effective.
No, it makes you remember that when you were a teenager, a bunch of boys made bad decisions no matter what.
Yeah, but this has got gals running things now.
And?
Apparently, they're no different than boys. The woke were right all along.
Liberal women and teenage boys pretty close together. Blue hair, nose piercing, bad ideas. Scotty's Castle. Ever heard of it?
Yes.
It's got 2 T's.
That little jerk.
Well, he paid for the extra T.
Well, you got to double the T when you're going to add a Y. So we even do it with my name. What? I know the rules of grammaticalness.
Scotty's Castle is a 1920s vacation home for a millionaire couple in the domain of a famous con man, and was a top attraction at the Death Valley National Park before it closed.
I didn't even know it was sick.
Yeah, after 10 years of repairs, the landmark is offering limited tours. They had lots of repairs to do. The castle is nestled in the desert hillside and tells the perfect Wild West story of a cunning cowboy, a search for gold, a shootout with bandits, and friendship. Great tale, even though a lot of it's made up. Because, it's a better story that way.
Exactly.
The story of how it came to be in this extremely unlikely place is what makes it so special, said Abby Wines. So let me tell you. Walter Scott, not the sir, a con man nicknamed Death Valley Scotty, and a former writer for the Buffalo Bill Wild West show, took up gold prospecting, convincing people to invest in a fictional gold mine in Death Valley, where he figured none of his investors would dare to visit.
He was wrong.
And he struck the mother lode when he met Albert Johnson. Albert made his money in mines and health insurance, even back then. He invested in the mine, but traveled to Death Valley to see where his money was going. Scott tried to scare the man off by staging a gunfight with bandits. Johnson realized it was a scam, but he didn't mind. He found the dry desert air good for him, for his health.
He shot you
adventure.
Last time.
Yeah, a little. According to Park Person Wines, he brought his wife, Bessie Johnson, and they became friends with Scott. Over 9 years, they built a vacation home they called Death Valley Ranch. But Scott lived on the grounds until he died, and everyone referred to it as Scotty's Castle. Yes, they did. He is actually buried on top of a hill overlooking the property.
Wow.
Yeah. If you're wondering, Death Valley is known for being one of the hottest, driest places. Actually, it is the hottest place in North America.
Yep.
And as the driest and lowest place in the continent, 282 feet below sea level.
Yep.
About 1.4 million people visit the park, and obviously Scotty's Castle was a big deal.
Sure.
But it's now partially open after 10 years of repairs from flooding. Who says God doesn't have a sense of humor? Yeah, flash floods happen even in the desert, sports fans.
Now, here's something that happened quick, and I'm surprised because it's a governmental agency. While you were doing that story,
yeah,
I happened to check my email.
Yeah.
I got this official notice from the EU.
Wow.
From Office of the Commissioner for Algorithmic Purity, OCAP. Subject, Notice of Required Contextual Re-Education.
Uh-oh.
Status, Critical Systemic Risk Detected. To the producers of This Is True Really News.
Do we have producers?
That'd be me.
Okay.
I do the job of two men. It has come to the attention. Yeah, and it has come to the attention of the European Digital Sanity Commission that your recent broadcast contains a dangerously high level of irresponsible rhetorical flourish. Pursuant to the Digital Services Act, DSA, we are formally issuing you this response to ensure the global information ecosystem remains as sterile as a Brussels office park. While your American First Amendment permits you to shout at clouds, the EU operates under the doctrine of managed joy. Your categorization of the EU as a you okay?
Hang on, managed joy? What?
Your categorization
you could buy some, but they'd be sold out. Go ahead.
Right? Your categorization of the EU as a stinking authoritarian regime is a statistical anomaly that does not align with our internal polling of people currently being paid by the EU. Required certifications.
So it's like most surveys and studies you see now.
All bureaucrats.
Yeah.
Required clarifications. Regarding censorship, we do not censor. We perform aggressive accuracy adjustments. If your content disappears, it hasn't been deleted. It has been rehomed to a digital void where it can no longer threaten the equilibrium of a French goat farmer's social feed.
Well, there is that.
Regarding authoritarianism. An authoritarian regime forces you to stay quiet. The EU merely incentivizes your silence by threatening to fine your platform into the 19th century. There is a nuance. There is a nuance there. Your satire clearly fails to grasp. Action required. Please find attached our 400-page harmonized style guide. We suggest you replace your cynical tone with our approved Eurobland, trademarked, aesthetic.
See, they got that from London before they left.
Instead of saying, Brussels decided you like this, try stakeholder consensus has optimized this narrative for maximum social cohesion. Failure to comply will result, in a level 4 digital timeout, during which your podcast audio will be automatically replaced by the sound of a bureaucrat reading the terms and conditions of a Belgian rail pass. In digital solidarity, Dr. Hans
3
Peter
hours of reading.
von Veig, subdirector of truth-adjacent content. So there you go.
I'm impressed they got back to us that fast.
We've been...
because most folks I know, the EU moves at glacial pace except for, bad guys. Not bad guys.
Yeah.
Guys they think are bad guys because...
they offended them.
Oh, now I've got to sleep with one eye open. I'm out of eyes. Now I have both eyes open.
Well, have Rob open one of hers.
That's why one eye is open. Okay, World War I ended, 107 years ago?
You would know better than I.
Give or take. It ended in 1919, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yet the horrors of the Great War still can rear its ugly head in the most unexpected places.
And I think I know where you're going.
If I use the English version of bum, think of a young Frenchman, 24-year-old, who recently went to the hospital after getting a little bit, he said, too kinky.
Uh-huh.
He admitted to the doctors that he'd been northbound and inserted something from the southbound lane, and he couldn't get it out.
Oops.
Okay, so believe it or not, they've run across stupid things in stupid places before. And it was kind of a routine surgery, right?
Yeah.
It's actual surgical sex toy removal. But it took kind of a turn when our hero had failed to mention that he'd been playing with a World War I artillery shell. An authentic and still active World War I artillery shell, meaning it could have gone off at any moment.
This guy's going to really get a bang out of it.
Ba-dum-bum.
Thank you.
So the doctors had to do what the doctors had to do. Police were called, bomb squads called, the hospital evacuated, surgeons completed an extremely tense operation before the round could be declared safe.
Whose round was it? Was it English or German or French?
That matters.
Well, yeah, because if it's French, it's not going off. If it's English or German, it might.
Yeah, but I'll bet it was French, considering where it ended up. The man was... We're not in the EU anymore. We're good.
Oh, wow.
The man was reportedly
true.
still hospitalized, but expected to make a full recovery. Define full recovery.
Not psychologically, he won't.
It's still not clear yet how he got a hold of or why he was owning illegal live ammunition.
It's the famous World War I iron harvest.
No.
It could be the famous World War I
Sure.
iron harvest.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Okay.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.